When I was a kid, my favorite movie was A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. There's a quote in that movie that always stood with me, which is,
"Never let the fear of striking out
keep you from playing the game."
I felt drawn to that because I often felt like I was going to strike out in life. And I feel like that fear can paralyze us to the point that we don't do the things that God has asked us to do, including going on mission trips. Hi, hello there. My name is Amanda. I'm a short-term missionary and mom, and I'm here to help you understand the Great Commission just a little bit better. Let's drop that baseball metaphor that we had at the beginning, but I hope you get the point. The idea being sometimes our own fear will keep us from participating in the things we've been called to do. And that has happened to me on multiple occasions. In fact, before I even went on my very first mission trip, I felt so ill-equipped as a Christian that I didn't go on the trip for several years, even though I knew God wanted me to go on a mission trip. I used every excuse I could think of, knowing deep down that the real reason I wasn't willing to go was because I felt like I wasn't a good enough Christian, that I didn't know my Bible well enough, or I hadn't been walking with the Lord long enough, that there was no way someone like me could even further the kingdom in a foreign country. I was so wrapped up in my own head, I missed at least 2 opportunities to go on mission trips when my sister asked me to join her in South Africa. Finally, by the 3rd time of her asking, I reluctantly said yes, and God transformed my life. God didn't want me to have it all figured out before I went. He didn't care what equipment I thought I needed. He knew what equipment He was going to give me as I set forth. I didn't have any of those skills before I went on the trip, because skills are a thing that you can give someone. But God didn't need me to give anybody anything other than my presence, other than my encouragement that God had given me. He just wanted me to be there and be present, and He gave me the ability to do that. God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the ones He calls. Moses could have said no and not freed his people from Egypt. Peter could have said no to God and not transformed his life and countless others by being the rock of the Christian movement. Paul could have said no and not written 70% of the Bible. Each one of those people were lacking in something that God was able to give them when they said yes. Moses wasn't a leader when he said yes. Peter didn't know anything about God or how to speak or preach before he said yes. And Paul didn't know what it meant to go hungry or to sleep outside before he said yes. But God equipped each one of them in the unique ways they needed to further His kingdom. So don't worry if you don't have it figured out, because you don't have to. All you have to do is be faithful to what God has given you. He says to therefore go. So go. And as long as you're continuing to move towards Christ, you are getting the equipment that you will need, and God will give it to you when you're ready and when you say yes. Hey, thank you for watching this video. I liked talking about this because I feel like it was an encouragement that I needed at some point, and I hope that you got some encouragement out of it too. We're not always going to be perfect people who have everything figured out, but God is going to give us what we need when we need it, as long as we're faithful to Him. If you have any cool stories about how God equipped you for a mission trip when you felt really ill-equipped, go ahead and leave this below, as we can all need a little bit of encouragement and we can celebrate each other's stories. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!